Okay, sorry. Again, I forgot to turn on my mic. What the hell else is going to happen, right? I mean, how your Auntie Cersei always forgets to turn on her mic. Story of my life, darlings. How are you today? It is Wednesday. It is OMG, you guys. Okay, so it's May now, right? And it just felt like a couple of days ago, it was January and it was still cold. So now we're in May. And you know what that means? In a couple more months, it'll be July. And then it rolls down to September. And then boom, Christmas holidays. And you know, your auntie loves her some Christmas holidays. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about tonight. Our subject is still selling the OC season 3. Oh, I did not fumble that one. This episode is called Offer Not Accepted. So, if you guys recall, the previous episode is where there was a fiery exchange between at a bar in San Diego between a former frenemies, co-workers, Tyler and Sean, who we still don't know what the frack the issue is between them. What is the true issue? Is it just digs and jabs, like here and there? Or was it like something monumental? Like, I don't know. Maybe Tyler didn't include Sean in the listing they both worked on together? Um, I don't know. But could it be something even less sinister than that? Like, they're just not simply meant to be friends. Oh, I mean, but first, we gotta get the intel on what exactly happened between Hall and Tyler, who, if you can recall, Tyler planted a kiss smack dab on the face of Hall. Okay, fine, on her lips. Um, but that was like minutes before Tyler was engaged in that fiery exchange. Um, or argument with Sean again at the bar in San Diego. And of course, who better to do this naughty interrogation than our very own snarky tongued Brit, Polly. You know, Polly will try to get all kinds of information squeezed out of anybody. So she doesn't miss a beat, asking Hall if she went home, or in this case, went back to the same hotel room as Tyler. Ooh, damn, Polly. She's that girl. Okay. And you know what? Polly might just be correct in her assessment because maybe, just maybe, those two some shagged. Did they or didn't they? Mm. Of course, Hall was going to try her very best to tiptoe and dance around Polly's incessant questioning. I mean, Polly was not letting up because Adar, if we know Polly, she zooms in on a target. She does not stop until she's achieved her goal. And it's so funny that Hall was having a hard time trying to convince Polly that she, Hall, was actually asleep alone in her hotel room. And this hotel room is in the same hotel that like the rest of the cast was actually staying at. So likely they had rooms that were like, close to each other, if not adjacent to each other. So people would know if, their castmates were already in the rooms or what have you, or castmates who happen to not make it to their rooms because they're in some other castmates room. You know what I mean? Anyway, yeah. According to Hall, she was actually snuggled up in bed with her big bottle of water. Big bottle of water? Mm. Okay, so your Auntie Sarcy is like 129 years old or something like that. But as much as she loves drinking water, because when you're old, you're always parched. She doesn't love drinking water that much that she would go to bed with a big bottle of water. I'm just saying. You know what? You got me curious now. Whole. Is that the regular size water bottle? Or is like the water, the less plastic kind, the one where you can practically squeeze every drop out of that water because it's so flimsy? Or is it the kind of water bottle like, say, I don't know, Aquafina, where it's like slightly squeezable with a little grip? Or is it like, a reusable bottle of water, the kind that like can take a beating or two or three and still come out on top? Mm, okay, you dirty little bugger. Stop that. Bad children. We didn't get a slip out of Hall though regarding her maybe not romp with Tyler, but do we really believe her though? Do we? Okay. I did not see any hands up. Okay, well, let's move it on. So Hall does share again with still with Polly that Tyler or not with Polly during her what is this producer confessional? What is that thing where they like talk to the screen? That Tyler has a trip coming up to Nashville, and that he's invited her to actually come and join him. So does that mean? And it's just maybe just me talking. Does that mean first class tickets though? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, it's a long trip, long enough for me. And he obviously knows that Hall is like this googly eyed 13-year-old pining for her crush, Tyler. And yes, he knows that he happens to be that crush. And he's willing to maximize that infatuation to the best of his abilities. Sir, you know what? You do you. Okay? You do you. But this wouldn't be selling Sunset. Oh my gosh, I messed it up. Look at that. This wouldn't be selling the OC. I don't know why I keep calling it selling Sunset, but selling the OC if we don't touch on the drama that is Sean. Like, Sean really, I have to say, maximized his screen time this season because he's the talk of the town in the office and elsewhere where these agents gather. I mean, dang. That Kool Aid is being passed around and it's got a different variation each and every time, it seems. Polly and Sean used to be besties. In the past seasons, we've seen them to be very close. And now they've kind of been on the outs. Per Polly, she's witnessed Sean speak and act in unacceptable ways, such as like a recent revelation by Sean to Polly about being invited to Lisa and Austin's. Austin is Sean's coworker in the O group, and subsequently was served weed cookies, which made Sean feel weird. Obviously, I mean, I don't know if he ate the cookies or it's just the thought of being in the presence of these cookies. According to Sean, allegedly, those are, again, marijuana cookies. He also added that Austin and Lisa, Austin's wife, was insinuating that they have a menage a trois with Sean. Okay, well now. So anyway, that's one version, and that's Sean's version, as was told to Polly. Which Polly decided not to repeat until Austin himself had brought it up to her after hearing the rumor from somebody else. And so it seems, per Hall, that Sean had been asking his coworkers, um, Austin, Tyler, and everybody else, why they've suddenly stopped hanging out with Sean and being his friend. Um, and this goes back to the year prior. And like, I assume that the rumor of the menage a trois allegedly started circulating around the same time. I mean, look, it's a very interesting. Given Polly's reaction to Sean's burning bridges, she adds that there's only so many bridges you can burn before you gotta get the fuck out of town. I mean, hell, Zam, drama. for your mom. I mean, is she wrong though about the burning the bridges thing? Is she or isn't she? And who says Sean doesn't have prospects in the real estate games? Hello, we see him at a potential listing that is a farm with actual goats and farm animals. You know, like when people nowadays they connect farm and having a big lot and a few trees. I'm just saying, this property does also boast a frigging car, a car, like a full on car that if you probably turned on, okay, you probably shouldn't because it's like sitting on a wall, like it's hanging out like a frame, but it's an entire car. It's a 1974 Periscopio S Lamborghini. Um, I wouldn't know if I were like the collector or the owner of the car. I don't know if I would have it sitting on the wall. Could you imagine if like robbers come in the house? They would be trying to pry that fracking thing off the wall. Probably take damn wall down with it. Who knows? But still, it's a mess. Um, trying to remove it, but just sitting there looking pretty, it's not a mess. Anyway, it's like just giving off this vibe of, you know, a reminder to us mere mortals that will likely never afford a car like that, and not even a huge mansion like that. Slash sad face, but I'm happy I don't have to pay the exorbitant taxes associated with such a huge property. So never mind that sad face. Oh, and quick trivia on that car, there were only 151 units made of those things. So is it correct to say it's a rare item to be found on sale if if you happen to find it? Look, if the property sells, does it actually include the car on the wall? Hashtag asking for a friend. And look, Sean is confident that the seller is his kind of client. You know, the kind that go where you say, "Damn, you rich bitch." I mean, I sure hope Sean sells a home or two or three because, darling, that license isn't going to pay for itself if you don't use it. Speaking of, we're still at the farm slash not the farm property of his rich bitch client, and he's trying to share the tea about his run in with Tyler at the San Diego bar. Kayla Jarvis and Ali Harper, um, and how Sean felt immediately awkward and unwelcomed with a group of colleagues who were there, namely Polly, Tyler, Austin, Geo, and Hall. Basically, those folks are a cliquey band of bandits, and they are not taking new applications to add to their squad. Basically. So Sean further added that he tried to apologize to Tyler, but that went south since Tyler made fun of Sean's marketing background, his lack of experience in real estate, and other minor jabs that was like unnecessary. So basically, in Sean's mind, Tyler was looking down on his inability to sell real estate in the years that he's had his professional license. Hmm, that brings to mind. Is this reminiscent of Brie Tiesi? Like, wasn't she also a newly minted real estate agent who got her license like years back but hadn't actually sold a property? Hashtag allegedly. Anyway, back to Sean. He feels like Geo is also frosting him out along with Austin. And to Sean's defense, Jarvis comes to his, you know, to offer a defense for him that the clicky group that is Hall, Polly, and the rest of the cast is that it feels like that group's full time job is to manipulate and twist things to create pandemonium or chaos in the office. I mean, look, that office, the Orange County office, clearly is divided into two distinct groups. That is for sure. Now we're off to Polly's listing. She's trying to get Gio's client to buy, and Gio's client is clearly enamored with the property. I mean, sir, just buy the damn thing already, okay? I mean, ka-ching, ka-ching. But you know, Polly being Polly, she has to try and get more juicy intel from Gio about the San Diego thing. You know, if Hall and Tyler rocked boots that night. Ooh, Polly, you wily little coyote, yo. Anyway, side note, is it me? Or is this season showing us more of Sean? Obviously, in the past seasons, Hall and Polly and their like on again, off again tiff with Kayla was front and center, but now we are seeing more of Sean. I mean, like, we are 3 episodes in, and it's like, hello, Sean is in each one of those episodes and prominently featured. Okay. I mean, is that a good thing or is that a good thing? Or is that a bad thing? Who knows? Like, is it a little too much of a good thing? Anywho, we see Kayla, Ellie Harper, and Sean in a restaurant catching up again. And in another part of town, I guess in the same day, maybe, Austin and his wife Lisa, who I'm not trying to be funny about this actually, but it's just an observation. But her face does not move. Like, I think that's it. Like, it's not that she doesn't really have emotion, it's just her face just doesn't move very much. Like, she's seen laughing at Austin about his unfortunate accident on his Harley where his scrotum had swelled up like an eggplant. But guys, he did still manage to have twins, so there's hope. And his wife's face didn't move. I mean, she was laughing, but you know, her wife wasn't. I mean, her face wasn't moving. So I guess it's a Botox kind of town. Mhm. That must be it. Anywho, somehow though, these two dining groups seem to be talking about the same damn subject: the menage a trois sitch, or the potential for the insinuations and touchy feely ways of both Austin and his wife rubbing Sean the wrong way. Over on Austin's lunch date with his wife, he's reminding her about the incident where Sean had asked to come over to their house um, so he can hang out with Austin and his wife, and which at the same time, Austin's wife was actually baking cookies. I guess she was in her Martha Stewart era that night. I don't know. And anyway, they also had dinner there in Austin's home, played a little video game. The Oculus, where you strap like those huge goggles on your face and you play a video game that way. Anyway, I know, nerdy stuff, but maybe that was a little too staid because per Sean's version, he was given marijuana laced cookies, and Lisa and Austin tried to have a three-way with him, not over the phone. Okay. And this elicited a laugh from Austin's wife because, again, she's sitting there in disbelief. Austin and his wife dispels that rumor, obviously. Literally doused that with ice cold water. Now, as far as Sean, though, he's still at the restaurant with Ellie and Kayla, and his side of the story is a little bit more hmm, juicy. He's claiming that he's not going to judge anybody's underlying relationship. That he also claims that Austin had made moves on him and Austin's wife as well, where she has touched Sean in the past while claiming he's her favorite in the office. And in Sean's mind, those are like ambiguous, kind of like double edged compliments or comments where it could lead somebody to think, like, ooh, um, there's like, you know, sexual tension there. I don't know. But um, Sean further attested that Austin and his wife has this delusion in their minds that Sean would be open to even be experimenting with them in intimate ways. Of course, these again are Sean's allegations. These are his versions of events. Are they true? Who knows? Are Austin's version of the story true? Who knows? I only know what I see on the screen, and that's that. That is what we comment on, and nothing else. So before we go further, Polly sold her listing to Gio's client. Honestly, Gio's client was playing a bit hard to get, but hey, look, if you're paying with cash, you can afford to play a little hard to get. You know what I mean? Now let's get into this crescendo of Austin X Sean. Because y'all didn't think it wouldn't, did ya? Sean walked into the office and Austin looked like he was already about to spew magma. I don't know if Sean was deliberately ignoring Austin at that point, but it did take a few call outs to him by Austin to for Sean to even acknowledge Austin. So it's like, ooh. And once they got outside in that little patio that they have outside of their office, shit went to hell. I mean, hello. All hell broke loose. Initially, Sean walked off the office after being seemingly cornered by Austin at their patio. But then Sean decided to return for part two. And of course, his argument would erupt again against Austin. And now it seemed like these two who were initially like going back and forth as to what the issue was, but Sean relented that whatever rumor it was that Austin is making up is likely due to Austin trying to turn things around on Sean. So at this point, I beg to ask the question: did Sean actually know what the exact rumor was that Austin is referring to in this very instance? Or did he already know that this rumor had his name potentially as the source? I mean, he does allude to having heard information from Austin himself about Austin and his wife's alleged proclivities. And Sean goes off. Sean goes off saying as far as to say Austin made a move on him and that Austin told him, and I quote, if I wasn't married, the things I would do to you, unquote, which only served to incense Austin further. The volcano inside Austin broke and pushed Sean back, and if Gio and Tyler did not get in between those two, whoo, whoo, it would have been lights out for Sean and handcuffs for Austin. I'm just saying. Hello. Now, Tyler, who was trying to hold back Sean and telling him to walk away, but Sean wasn't actually going to listen to Tyler because Sean kept running his mouth. And he just kept saying that Austin was trying to flip the script on him. It just kept talking sideways out of his mouth. Like maybe he had the facts. But bro, if your ass was about to be handed to you, fuck the facts. You might want to just get the fuck out of there and save yourself. I'm not kidding. Hello. Gio and Tyler were doing Sean the favor to actually get himself out of the office and off to somewhere safe. But Sean had to just dig his heels in and ask the ladies in the office, dragging them in this mess, what kind of work environment are they in? For their part, though, bless their hearts, Tyler and Gio were trying to defuse the situation by making light of the three-way accusation with Austin. They really were. But again, Sean, somehow something in him is unleashed also, and he's unleashing on everyone in the office, saying that their work environment is horrible, is hostile, their office is turning into a brothel, doubling down on his accusations about Austin and his wife hitting on him, etc. And honestly, after his tirade, I would have thought Sean would be wanting to leave the office, but no, he just seemed to relish the attention. Like, bro, true or not, literally just go and save yourself. Like, get the fuck out of that burning kitchen. Seriously. And his friend Jarvis, Alexandra Jarvis, defending her friend Sean is just not helping. She should just taken him aside or outside and gotten him to calm down and see clearly and got him an Uber for goodness sakes. Girl, come on now. Look, Austin and Sean are two grown adults who obviously had like, possibly a deeper friendship than what we have seen on our screens, and for their friendship to implode in such a way is so disheartening to see. What's wrong? Who's wrong? Who's speaking the truth? Who the hell knows? But what we do know is that Sean is no longer working in the O group, and neither is Alexandra Jarvis. I googled that one. Okay, still, I wish them both the best because that's all we can do. It takes more energy to hate someone than to wish them well. So let's all try to remember that. And darlings, this is where we end our recap and side snarky commentary of Selling the OC Season Three's Episode 3. Okay? Offer not accepted. Fabulous people. Remember, you are all kinds of fabulous. So, what else are you going to do but be your fabulous self? Also, I know it's hard. I know, I really do know that it's hard. But let's try to remember to leave grace for others and to always journey in gratitude. And also, darlings, before I forget, and of course I wasn't going to forget. Thank you, thank you, thank you to our new subscribers. I am just like, I bit my tongue. Sorry. I bit my tongue when I said it. Thank you to the new subscribers. We have 3 new subscribers. We are now up to 146. My goal is 200 subscribers. I know it's tiny, but I always say this, I started with zero. So at 146, we are already leaps and bounds ahead of zero. Okay? There. So we get to 200 subs. Ooh, what a feeling. Anyway, darlings, thank you again for subscribing. And for those of you who are not yet YouTube friends with your Auntie Sarcy, would you mind please subscribing to my itty bitty channel and also liking my videos? I have other videos. I don't just comment on Netflix reality shows and other shows, other like celebrity news and what other headline news. Um, I do try to not cover political news. I think I only have one or two possibly commentary on a couple of political related news, but I really try not to. Oh, and I also play World of Warcraft. I had played Diablo previously, but now I play exclusively World of Warcraft. I don't know. I just kind of outgrew Diablo, I think. So there you have it. And I cannot wait to play the new expansion for Warcraft. And darlings, did you know that they canceled this year's BlizzCon? Sad face? Ooh, sad face. Your Auntie Cersei is sad. But you know what? I'm sure bigger, better things are in store for the future BlizzCon. So we'll just wait for that. Again, have a good night. Have a good rest of the week. And I shall see you all in the next recap and snarky commentary of Selling the OC's Season 3. Toodaloo for now. Bye.